like yesterday, we were organizing an AI workshop for recruiters. I asked it to just publish a very simple website. Super simple. It wasn't a lot of prompting. This page is a registration page for agentic AI workshop for human resource and recruiting. Edit this page so that it includes a text in Arabic, this, English, and I gave it the link that I had already copied the prior page. But basically tell it to design a basic page. And it gave me this, join the workshop. You can sign up. I connected it to a form. And when people sign up now, I get an email. It goes into a database and we know who's signing up. And then when it publishes, I connected it to my domain workshop.kens. So now when you go to workshop.ka.nz, you have this. Or if you go to AI. That's another project, AI.kens, it's here. These are basic pages. I had workshop was a clone of AI. Now, let's take a look at something more complex. This is a project that we built. We started it with Lovable, and then we ended up doing it on Figma Make, which is, has anyone used Figma? Just definitely, please drop in a yes, because then we'll get a sense of how many have access to it. It's on the paid version of Figma. That's why we're going to give some trainings on Lovable, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yes,
but this
we
is what
have
we've
many yeses, 2 yeses.
many yeses.
No,
Okay,
not many, 2.
Okay. Figma Make and Lovable work the same way. It's just that Figma, you can just put in a proper designer on it and start to work on it and put components. But ultimately, you're going to prompt it and look at all the prompting that's happening between multiple people. There's Roy, and then there is Yasmina. So we're collaborating on prompt engineering in order to come up with this. This is the app that we've designed. This is, for example, find me civil engineers with experience in structural engineering. In Saudi Arabia, sometimes there's a Saudi female in Riyadh, contract, budget, and you search. Then this is all AIs. It's all front end. So it's creating a job description. So this is all dummy text. It's not connected to the database. Here are the skills, and it shows the top candidates that we have. Boom, boom, boom. Here, let me make it small so it appears as like in a cleaner place here. Here we go. So you can see the candidate's profile. You can schedule interviews, say when you want to meet them. You mention who you are, and you sign up, you create an account. This is going to be the next iteration of our app, fully designed on the front end. So you have an ability, just like we saw pet care, just like we saw crypto exchanges, the ability to build products without coding is finally here. And then once you log in, we just separated this into 2 files. You can go to your jobs. You can manage the job description. You can generate a skills assessment. You can see your upcoming interviews, who you're going to meet, when you're going to meet them, what the interview guide is, what are the questions to ask, and what to look for. And you can see past interviews, rate them, all of this through voice note or however it is that you want to do. And then you can subscribe and pay, and the app is there. All of a sudden, you've automated recruiting. So we are using this in building it into a commercial product. So it's not a theoretical exercise. And this goes back to one of the earlier questions of what is it that we can do? ChatGPT can now build agents. But you're connecting it to your database here. So when you exit this and then you go into jobs and then you see how many candidates have applied or who you're going to meet, Ahmed Rashid, then this is connecting to your database. And this goes back to what Salam was saying. If you want to take this to the next level and see what that looks like ultimately in a product, you can say, find me civil engineers with 10+ years experience to build skyscrapers in the desert, Saudi or not. So this is, it's become an outdated interface. I know it's quite modern. And you can always build the next things you want, مثلا ++ years. And now this is real data. So now it's going into our own talent database, searching for, taking this, converting it into a job description, and surfacing the top candidates for the role. Except that we're just building a more modern app version of it, mobile app. See here, so all of this is dynamic. This is connected to LLMs. It's prompted in a way to give us OKRs. And now you're understanding a bit what goes behind it, what meets the eye. This one happens to have been physically coded rather than done on N8N, basically to save money and to give us a bit more configurability. But so no, basically you can build this using N8N. And here you have a summary, and this is a real summary on Muhtai's technical engineer, 15 years experience, architecture, engineering projects, worked on this, and that. You see, this person worked at PMC construction and ACOM and new Murabba development. So all of a sudden, you're able to surface top talent through a prompt using AI. And this goes back to basically the specialists, AI agent solutions. So once you develop this, then you start to build new AI agent solutions, like Otter, like the note takers that we have, that are going to give you summaries and everything, that are on the call right now. So you can start with Lovable. And I'm inspired a little bit by the crypto trading platform. Faz, if you're on, feel free to just come in and then take over the class and explain what you did. Ahla wa sahla. And I don't know
if you are here, just say anything in the chat, then I will unmute you.
And in the meantime, I'm trying to try to recreate a bit some of, like, what Faz did. So build crypto exchange, or let's say a crypto exchange that inputs the top 20 crypto, cryptocurrencies, their trading bid ask volumes, and allows me to buy or sell, use best UX practices, fill in the blanks with information on trades that you know. No options yet, just delta trades. They're just make the product a web app. So this here is going to start an app, and it's going to start to develop it. Now I'm going to show you the difference, how you can improve your prompts to get something better, and how you can get a kick-ass one so that you can be 80% there very quickly. So what you're going to see here that's going to come out is very far from the very finished final product that we just saw here, built for Ken's. It's going to be a beginning. And what we want to do is, after we look at, bottom up Lovable, bottom up N8N, we're going to look at top down. How can we start with a more finished product, and then reverse engineer our way into making it work? So instead of starting with one node, ending up with 40, 50 that does something, we start with 40, 50 and debug each. It's just a different way to do it. If you have any questions, Hone, it might take like a couple of minutes. So it's building a full-on trading app, yani. So feel free to ask and chat.
We have a question. What's the link between N8N and Lovable?
So the link between N8N and Lovable, and I was hoping to do this, but
We lost your voice. Right?
oof, my internet.
Yeah, we lost your voice. We couldn't hear you.
Hey, I'm back. So here's
Yes, yeah.
with Lovable. Not, I don't think so, Hassan. If you can, maybe Google it. I'm not sure. Not that I know of. Yes, it will be shared. It's mostly on how to automate things that you would manually do. So see this workflow, and basically أنا إنه ما لحقت كتير اشتغل عليها. I basically what I did is corruption على اللي كنت عم بقوله. What I did is give me an MVP. Okay. What do I need to add? And where does it go to connect it to my Lovable app? I'm talking about the N8N nodes. So I apologize, but many of you have been able to do this. So apologies. But what I did here is, there we go. Here's your question. So review this N8N workflow and make suggestions on a Lovable interface that I can use with it. It came back with a full dashboard. And then I copied the content of the dashboard. I pasted it in Lovable and it produced this. See? It's still not there. Yana, you need to prompt it a lot because it's a bottom-up build. And then you can connect it by connecting certain nodes. So here's where it's gonna take a little bit of coding, but what you can do is in N8N, and I haven't successfully done it yet, which is to add a, for example, webhook. And in this webhook, now it's gonna be connected to nothing. Let's take this webhook and it's gonna give you your test URL, production URL. You copy the URL. And what webhook is basically it's a trigger to receive information. And from here, your connection point can be, let's say, a file upload or run something. So this can connect to the mouse trigger. This can work on the settings and work on your prompt. Which model you're using, how often it refreshes. What can the prompt be? You can put it, say, show me the prompt. And with this, you'll be able to control this prompt, for example. You'll be able to control the click. You'll be able to control, let's say, a file upload. Like, and instead of it being an RSS read, you can say, take this document and summarize it for me by doing this, and that. So that's the connection point. And the place where you'd make changes is ultimately, you just ask Claude, where do I make changes? Where do I connect this to that? This is the, this is my endpoint, the webhook, or you can just ask it here and it will add it for you, or you can always access the code version of it. And then you can see the hooks. And so it'll tell you in which file to go in order to insert the webhook so that it can run it, basically. Hala, I apologize, I couldn't get to do it for you. But let's take before the call. So let's take a look here at this crypto market exchange, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT. So it did its own research to identify what are the top 10 bid, ask, volume, all this done in no time. Markets, portfolio, history. So nothing's been built. And now you can tell it, okay, populate the portfolio by doing this, and that. Populate the history, showing my trade histories. And then where do I start to trade here? You have to go ahead and, ask it to do these things. This is a bottom-up approach. You're telling it what to do from start. I want to give you something that's a cheat code. I want to just, for a second, pause, because I think a lot of you have already been building Lovable apps, and you just see, like, literally, it's that simple. So now you tell it, go to the in the portfolio page, do this, and that. So you'll be able to do this, not a problem. I want to make a quick pause and ask you all to shift your mindset from bottom up to top down. Here's how we get it started. Let's start with N8N, and then we'll go to Lovable. Starting with N8N, you can go to the N8N, to Claude, our best friend, and you can tell it, create an N8N workflow that allows me to upload a file, my resume, scan all available jobs. Oh, I might not have a database of jobs, but for example, have it reviewed by an AI agent who is a professional recruiter. Have it reviewed by a traditional applicant tracking system, or have it be, for to ensure it doesn't, no. And then give me a summary of both their reports. Then let their reports go into my job coach AI assistant, who will then review my resume and make specific recommendations. This is what Nick had created before, which was a working platform and had the interface with it. And this is what I love about his approach, is that it tells it start with the entire workflow. Don't start with one node. Don't tell me what to do. أعطيني الworkflow. And give me my specific recommendations. After this, recommend, give me an interface where I can make changes to my resume and resubmit the changes to have it be reviewed again by both the recruiter, professional, and the traditional applicant tracking system. Your out can be copy-pasted directly into N8N with nothing. That is a cool prompt. I'm going to share this prompt with you here in the chat. Try it yourself. can be one of the projects that you want to build. Notice here that N8N seems to be reading and converting that text into nodes. Node, LangChain, OpenAI. So it shows OpenAI as the node. So you can tell it, use OpenAI, use GPT, use whatever. This is the prompt. You're a professional recruiter up here. Now this is the recruiter node. This is the combined reviews. Blah, 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 blah. That is what I think is unique about what Nick had taught us in the prior class. The problem with this approach is that once you put it in, you're going to spend a day or two fixing errors because it's not going to get it right from the beginning. Maybe it will in a few months, as technology evolves and improves. Right now, I see this and I told it, give me something I can copy paste directly. I have no idea. Let's see if this is going to work. Copy this. Go into here, new, workflow, personal, save. Yeah, let's save. New, workflow, personal. Boom. It didn't work. Nope. Good. There's the suspense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's live how to solve a problem.
Copy paste it in N8N. Ignore the interface and only focus on the N8N nodes. Give me an output I can copy paste. You are also a professional tech auditor. Audit your own response, your last response, in order to ensure that the chain will work and is properly connected. Let me provide the N8N workflow in the correct importable format and audit it for you for proper connections. Now we're back to process upload. So Hela, I'm gonna take us to the first step where we have all the fields, but it's not into the whole debugging because that's gonna take a long time. It created prompts, which you'll be able to change. Reanalyze the updated resume, ATS tree analysis, combine all. Yeah, Jad, it can design a logo. Use GPT for design, and Gemini Pro for designing. But it's not going to give you something great. It's still better with words than with. So now let's take a look. Connection flow analysis. This is your primary path. So you can copy this as your documentation. These are the webhooks that you need. Fantastic. Let's see if it worked. Ready, set, go. Woohoo! Now it works.
Seems much more
It gave me the
complex
resume
than
upload. It picked
the one we created at the beginning, right?
Yeah, exactly. The idea is that you're not starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, connect. It just did this for you. Now, I bet you have a bunch of X's. So this one means you have to fix it by connecting your OpenAI account, resource, let's say text, model. And this is where you're going to, let's say 3.5 turbo, it's not expensive. The prompt, you want to copy paste it. So now what you'll tell it is, you can go back here and look for the prompt, or tell it what is the prompt for this one because it's empty. Settings. So that's where you're going to ياحو هون message model مشي حاله. It's not read anymore. It didn't connect to the tool you need. So you can tell it, I'm at this step, fix that, fix that, fix that. And here's where you can learn, like we talked about, connect that to your Lovable interface. No, Lovable interface by having a file upload. And the file upload is going to then connect to this correct URL to post the CV. That's where they connect. So the end product is going to be this beautiful thing. What's happening in the background is going to be this, and then you're going to be able to test it by going through all the steps. And this is how you build your no-code app while letting Claude connect them for you. So it's got resume upload, process upload. It's going to run 3 things: recruiter review, ATS analysis. And I don't know why this is connected here. I think maybe this one is wrong. And if you tell it re-audit it, it might tell you these 2 need to be connected here. As input 1, input 2, merge reviews, combine data. You have the job coach who's going to review it. You also have to connect your model, open an AI account, chat, text, and then you can pick the basic whatever model you want. And then you can say review the blah, 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 blah. The output of these and give me back my feedback. And then send the results. You can put it to your app. You can post it, and you're going to have under your parameters this URL, or you tell it what the URL is where you can post it. Now, for these things, you can just ask Claude to do everything for you, but at least you have this output. You don't have to search which node do I need to be looking for to put here. It did it for you. It knew, and then it took you 80% of the way there. I'm going to give you the second little cheat sheet is I wasn't able to copy it to N8N, So Hone, when we tell it be an auditor and fix your own mistakes. And then you just become a monkey work of actually going from one brilliant AI to another brilliant AI until you get him to properly connect. Another thing to do, so this is approaching it from N8N. Now let's approach a product from Lovable standpoint where you don't have to build every single thing. The way to do this is to have a good product document. And I don't know if it can easily, how much it can take, but when building this, the reason we got to such a complete product, it has error validation. Let me just put things like that. Confirm the okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. I'm putting that information. Ken's, blah, blah, referral code, مش عايزينه, ting, tang, both. Verified email. You can continue to your dashboard. You're going to have another email in a certain amount of time. It's complete. هون, if you're trying to, this is the web version. And then you have the mobile version. That's cool. And you tell it to subscribe to an interview pack or subscription. Subscribe now. It tells you how much. You want to add a different card. You can put a different card. كله معمول. You can cancel. ترجع بتسكر. تحط discount code. I don't know what the discount codes I had put. Pay this much. Paid. All of this stuff, Hone, you go into a lot of detail, which you don't have there, and it's going to take a lot of time to do. Pull from the cloud, go into the device, browse, plug in an image, boom, upload, poof, puff, it's here. Close account. You sure you want to close it? All of this stuff, use the code, share the code with a friend. All of this stuff can be, I'd rather you model what it is that the end state you want it to look like. That's just another approach. I don't know. I don't rather do anything. I'm still new, like a lot of us. And so I don't have that much experience. There isn't that much experience to go around. It's new. But this is what I did. This is how I started it. I'm a professional product manager, so I build good product specs. And in building good product specs, it gives me the ability to tell it exactly what I'm looking for at the end. Now, the good news is that this is not out of reach because we have our best friend Claude, who's smarter than most PhD level professionals in every single field in the world. So the more information you can give, for example, design brief, start with a design, Ken's design challenge. I started with this. I wrote this. This is what it is. This is design. This is what I like the homepage to say. This is I messed around with Lovable. I got this. I like those ideas. This is what the About Us page has. Ba, 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 ba. So this is basic. Yeah, you just write as much as you can. You just brain dump. So you can copy paste this, or you can just download it as a PDF and upload it here, right? So I pasted it here. You are a professional product manager and software developer. Your specialty is working with Lovable. You write a complete spec that Lovable can ingest and to be able to build an app with the fewest number of prompts. I want the app to be, you want the app complete. And خلاص for now. Fill in the blanks where detail is needed. Use best UX practices. Let the color palette follow the color of the logo. Okay, we're going with green. Attached. Let me copy paste this one. This prompt. Okay, now take a look at this. Starting with the brand identity, it made up a bunch of colors that maybe go well together or not, but at least it's thinking there. It picked the typography of enter, logo usage, tam, hero section, in Arabic, search bar components, boom, 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 boom. بعد عم تكتب. While it's talking, just because I'm impatient, I'm going to open Gemini, and this is a nice little trick. You can add Gemini, hit tab within Google Chrome and say, how many characters can Lovable take in its prompt? So I use Gemini for a lot of like daily questions. No specific character limit for prompts. Instead of a character limit, it operates on a credit system where each message you send consumes a certain number of credits. So there's not, the focus is not how many characters. Okay. Is there an ideal? So any questions you have, like, is there an ideal number? Anything you're curious about, ask AI. طيب هون عم بيخلص. Settings page. Okay. This spec provides a comprehensive foundation for building the Ken's platform Lovable with detailed requirements. This says copy. This says go. وينه Lovable? ياهو Lovable. Let's start a new project. Spam. This spec provides comprehensive foundation for building Ken's. So it took everything. Is that true? 7, 8, interview page. It took everything. Wow. Gemini was right. Now the question becomes, after you build the interface, how do you connect it to the database? And you have a Supabase here that they offer you a database. Be secure, it has a lot of work to go, you can commit it to GitHub. But this goes into the territory where more coding is needed, but at least you can get the front end up and running. Ken's Talent Spark is what it called it. Previewing last saved version. I don't know what's going on. It's if it worked or not, I have no idea. So, being the impatient people we are, ask it again. So now it's working on building the app. It's reverse engineering it. Comprehensive spec with excellent detail. It probably didn't tell me that earlier in the prior suggested implementation order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which would you want to start with? Or if you prefer, I can start with any other specific sections. What's your priority? So it told me it's too much to put with the credits. Design system setup. I always recommend start with it. So now you're starting in a more professional way. Start with your design system. This way you know what are the components, then the landing page, then the authentication flow, then the dashboard, da 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 da. So start. Given the speed at which AI can work, it's well worth starting with the proper foundations. While it's asking, we have some time for questions. I just want to check if everyone is with me, if my connection is still working, if you can still hear me. Let me know.
Yeah, we can. And we have a question in the chat. Does Lovable have a free option? But Maria answers free 5 credit per day, 30 per month.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maria.
Mm-hmm. By the way, for everyone, be sure to graduate from the course so that you can get your certification. This is different than the certification. This is just a practical way to kind of bring everything to life if you so choose. And the top 6 applications deadline is this Sunday, or at least, based on our judgment, are going to be on display at the conference. And we're going to hopefully have a second conference in Lebanon. It's just a question of being able to obtain funds and maybe a sponsor or two to help us offer this while keeping admission and everything free, because we're hoping to be able to always do that. It's here, it's still working. So it's still working and you can see what it's doing. Welcome to your blank app here. Start building your amazing project. Now it has the that. So now review my prior prompt and design the landing page. Boom. Lovable uses Claude. N8N uses Claude. There's a lot of demand for Claude, by the way. So it's expensive for a reason. Yeah. Okay. It's thinking it's still building. So now we're going to see the difference in the homepage. Now that we have a more profound prompt. And by the way, this is nearing the end of the course. We might not have enough time for Q&A because I do have a shisha date with 3 friends at 8:30, and I have to get there. This is crazy how time flies. It's been an hour and 45 minutes for an hour and a half workshop. I hope it's been beneficial. So leave some comments if you have questions on what we can do better. Let know where giving AI courses are new. Like you don't have people with 5 years of experience doing this, you know. It's a new topic. It's a bit cutting edge. So there's a lot of learning and it's gonna oscillate. كيف فينا نتحسن. Yeah, but so no, also I'm like stunned by the speed at which you can get things done. But it does take يعني, it does take effort. It does take a weekend where you just تسردها أو تسرديها عليها. Um, but you end up understand like you won't feel like sometimes our parents how they feel once the internet came about, you know. Sometimes they feel هيك, you know, انسبقوا وخلص, you know, they don't want to learn new things. It's too far beyond. So this is the time where you can be at the cutting edge of things. And hopefully a course like this allows you, makes it shorter and gives you the confidence to try. At least if you just try and figure things out, then you'll have a much better understanding. Our office is in Saudi Arabia. We are based in Ishbilia, in the east, and almost, yeah, in Ishbilia, in Riyadh. In the east, I mean, in the east of Riyadh. Yeah, we're in Riyadh. Tikram. So notice how much time it's taking to build all of this, because right now it's now you can see what's happening here. It's building the components, the feature grid, the stats section. So the live act, it's building a full app, and it's not just the first page. It's a very different, you know, you can go have a cup of coffee and come back and see the the equivalent of this of this being built. And this helps a lot in knowing what you would have had to guess. You know, it's hard to progress when you start from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. You have to take videos and videos and videos. It's almost like learning to play the piano. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. What second octave, pentatonic scales, but you're building your vocabulary. Hone, instead, it's telling you this is the whole language. Try to understand the different pieces. Let's go back to this. بلد فلسف بلد فلسفي, بس and I think you get the point. Here we go. It built this. You can tell it now to start editing things, but who do you want to hire? Marketing manager. Get started. Demo for job seekers. So it didn't give me the, it just gave me the homepage. Sorry. What's built is the homepage. Now build step 3. Go back to our earlier prompts and build step 3. I don't know if I dare tell it يعني رح تفهم, مفروض يفهم, it's smart enough. But what's cool here is that it didn't just design this. It has now an entire design structure on the colors. Now you can tell it replace the logo with this. But everything you build is going to follow this design system. And we gave it this half an hour. Authentication flow, it recognized it. So it also has you have your entire flow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's just literally going through step 1, landing page, the design system, landing page, about us page. No, it chose to make an authentication flow first. It took this information, broke it down into a better prompt. Well, أكيد you want to log in and log out. That's the first thing you do, especially for the database. It's quite important. Thanks so much, everyone, for the kind words, by the way. And the idea is tell your friends, like tell anyone to go on Kens. If you Google Kens, while it's searching. So if you Google Kens, just Google Kens. We should be the first link in most countries. So then you can, the website is ka.nz. Hayyan. If you sign up here, add your resume, tell your friends to add their resume, we'll start to invite every new member to improvement on job search, but also how to take AI courses and get to that level. And will improve over time, كمان يعني workshop after workshop, inshallah. But let's go back here. So now it's doing the authentication flow. It's complete. Now it's getting faster. Log in, boom, Google. Now I can tell it just improve with the Google login and so on and so forth. Sign in. Welcome, you've successfully logged in. It stopped here. And then you can continue to steps 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then what you can do here, create a comprehensive product spec while designing each page. Because you already told it it's a professional product manager. And maybe tell it you're a professional UX designer as well. And then it's going to start to design things and tell you how it can imagine it happening. And you can say, hey, I'd like these components in Lovable. So this is just another cool trick to end up with a product document that looks like this. That's really professional. So I gave this to a designer. They're like, the designer now sends this to other product managers to tell them, hey, this is what a good product spec looks like. لأنه everything is clear. Yeah, أكيد you can rewatch the course. I'm going to stop here. There's also kens.com.lb. There's also BitKens, which is Maya Ibrahim Shah's Bit al-Baraka, which is a جمعية خيرية that's absolutely amazing. BitKens, that I was very inspired by. But we are Kens. ka.nz. We're going to end the course here. I'm going to stop share, turn on my camera, say thank you everyone for staying on.